One, patience. When you make an appointment with the elders, they might give you a time, but you have to be solar sensitive to know how they work their time. I remember my first frustrating experience. We were supposed to meet at 4 o'clock, and they turned up at 7 p.m. in the evening. And so it happened twice. It happened once with a lawyer as well, who was supposed to defend me in court. And we didn't meet because he came 8 hours late. Waiting for 8 hours was a bit of a patience. But time, you don't look at your watch. That's one thing I learned. But you look at the people, and it's important that if you're waiting for them, in a way they're testing you. How much do you really want to speak to us? How would you listen to us? And that takes a lot of patience. And would you be prepared to understand us? Or are you coming with your own agenda? So that patience is a fundamental human attitude. The second thing I would say is persevering in understanding, because we can translate a word that, according to the dictionary, is correct, but it has a connotation that might be totally different from what is intended, depending how it's used. So learning how to understand others is so important. Even the way people who don't have English as their mother tongue, they use the English language in their structure of their own language. And so they might say something that you might understand as offensive, but they're not being offensive. They're trying to say something else. So being open and giving the benefit of the doubt that they mean something actually more positive than you first interpreted. And having that creative skill to ask a right question, not offending them, but really seeking understanding. They appreciate, they would feel that. And checking it with them, that deeper listening and understanding. The third, a missionary needs to think on his feet, in a sense that no matter how many plans you make, none of them will work, because the unexpected will happen. And the unexpected, when it happens, your antennas, for me, okay, God, what are you saying now? And being on the alert, not necessarily following plan A or plan B or plan C, but forging a plan as things revolve, and being generously ready to respond fully to whatever circumstances and incidences throw at you, as far as humanly possible, of course. But that would also mean to put a great trust in God and being always in tune with Him. Otherwise, several times I misunderstood the signs. I didn't read the signs of the times properly. And that in itself a learning process. So I would say thinking on my feet, but also reviewing daily experiences that God has allowed to happen. And through it, there is a lesson to learn. There's always a lesson if I want to learn. So really, I'm always a student. I'm always a disciple, learning from circumstances. But at the same time, I am free to learn. I'm not going to fix on a plan, or I won't get disappointed by failure. In fact, I learned that failure is an opportunity to see God at work. And it's more marvelous than any plan I could make. So it's that flexibility. It forms a certain flexibility in facing whatever life throws, and whatever sense God makes out of what life throws at you, because He does. He inspires. Otherwise, the mission will be impossible without Him. So, I have to constantly, from morning to evening, my eyes to be open to see through his eyes, my mind to be molded in his mind, to pronounce the words that he would want me to pronounce, not as a kind of a copycat robot, but to what would Lord say as a constant question to myself when faced with the unexpected or the surprise or the genuine search where people are searching and they want an answer. It's not that I would give an answer, but maybe somehow listen carefully to the question. So in that sense, I think it's essential to have an intimacy with God that I think what St. Paul puts it beautifully, put on the mind of Christ. And that's a process. It's not something that you wear, something that you're molded into. And there is that always the emptying of yourself only before God to fill it up with what he wants and accept it and receive it as gift. Even the most embarrassing and painful ones, because sometimes they're the real jewels in there.